going to find out that jumping on is a lot easier than jumping off.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know. The air is unfit to breathe. Our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad.
Hey, what's happening, guys? We're doing it again. Here we are, episode 13. Bam! ThinkStopper. Yeah, it's getting it in. We are here back at the clubhouse. Oh, he's looking for the light.
Oh. I'm like, I think it's on.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, did I turn it on? Yeah, guys, I just want to say thank you very much for, tuning in and subscribing, helping us build. I'm seeing some of the numbers are going up, and that's good. We're going to be, again, pushing. We're pushing. I'm doing a lot of studying. Been in the bunker, but
just keep pushing.
Yeah,
I'll write a review.
But yeah, we got a fun one today. Well, actually, we got a serious one today. I think this is a topic that we're all pretty passionate about. We're going to be talking about the Vegas shooting. But before we get into that, and before he strikes it up, my friend, pal, compadre, co-host, Mikey Slyman.
Yo.
He's in the house.
I'm back. I made it. It's running a little late, but I got here.
Yeah, dude, safe and sound. That's paramount.
There it is.
Yeah,
it's been good, man. It's what have you been up to?
Just been studying, self-teaching on a lot of video editing and stuff like that to try to get ready for doing the YouTube shit. So
nice.
Yeah, we have that, and then yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. So
we got to give a quick shout out to Ralph for hosting us last Friday.
Oh yeah, dude. The
first fun day, or what was it? Friday fun day.
Yeah, Friday fun day
over at Ralph's Palace over there.
Yeah, the little backyard show. It was great. It was a bit chilly. I think Ian was talking about heat lamps or something like that. I'm like, dude, trash can fires, bro.
Yeah, just bonfire this bitch.
Let's get that going. But
there was like 40 tiki torches, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean that was the low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
On that one, and I just wish I was up a little bit earlier before they got mentioned because I had some good ones. I had some good ones for that.
Fire them away. Don't hold back.
Oh no, it just been touched on so much. It was like it was beating a dead horse. But yeah, and I can't remember what they were. I just know they were better than what was. I just remember they were better than what was said. But Ralph's little show was good. They're gonna do it again. Last night I was at the Fun Day Monday.
Okay,
and I did
Silver Dollar.
Well, I did Noreen's on Sunday, and then I did which was good. There was a lot of there was a decent amount of people there. Kind of everybody into their own thing, a Super Bowl kind of deal, right?
Yeah.
And then I did the Sand Dollar, and that was a really good. That was a really good, very responsive crowd. They're sitting right up front, laughing. They were into it. The core of them, they stayed the whole time, which was pretty much all you needed to get honest feedback. And then, everybody else kind of dissipated, but that was good. That was a good little deal, but they got a good little run. Ian's got that thing. He's got that thing. He's got a little package there. Nice
Traveling Fun Day.
Yeah, dude. He's
like
a little
card. He's like
he needs a sell some street corn in the front.
Yeah, it's just like a portable, mobile fucking Fun Day.
He's got that shit going. But real quick before we get into things and before I bring in our guest,
I had an intro I was supposed to wait for.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get you. Well, there's gonna be a bit of a build. I'm gonna try and give a little crescendo to this, but I'm gonna be going out. I'm gonna be in next Saturday, so I definitely got to get this thing up. I'm going to be out the 16th in Minnesota. I'm going to be performing at Legends it's a country club. We're gonna be doing a Valentine's Day show there. So any of my Minnesota friends and family out there, I'd love to see you make the show. The information will be on the flyer that I'm gonna put up in this post and all and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna have a good little night out of comedy. I'm gonna be hanging out.
It's gonna be cold there, right?
It is gonna be a bit chilly.
Isn't that what they say up there? It's gonna be cold,
Yeah. No, A is a little bit more north.
A little more north.
But they say, it's kind of weird. But I'll be performing over there with my buddy Joey Vincent, and there's a couple. I can't think of them off topic, and that's really terrible. But
look out for the flyer.
Yeah. I'll get it. I'll get it right now. But it's going to be a dinner and a show too, which is cool because it's going to be. They're going to have like this little sit down dealie over here. But yeah, it's going to be me, Joey Vincent, Andrew Witzel, and Colleen Justice. So she's going to be headlining that little deal. So it's going to be fun. And this is real funny is I met some people on my tour. Had a great tour. They were great people. And I was telling them I'm going to be doing a show in Minnesota. They're from Minnesota. And they're like, where are you going to be at? And I'm like, this in Prior Lake. And he's like, oh, really? Okay. And I go, yeah, Legends. And he goes, that's my home course.
Oh, nice.
He goes, that's 2 miles from my house. He goes, so hopefully they'll be there. I told him about the podcast and shit, so we got that going on. But
I heard, or did I see on Facebook that the Legends open mic is coming back?
Yeah, they're gonna do.
Really?
They're gonna do a Saturday.
Mic.
They're gonna do a Saturday fun day. Is it Saturday? I think.
I can't remember what day, but I want to say it wasn't the normal Thursday. It was
Is that
before.
Ian doing that?
Yeah, I think I think with Sheffield and Campbell.
Yeah, they had a cool photo thing too.
Yeah, and somebody else did, but they were on the. Yeah, they showed them over there. Geez, I feel terrible for not remembering the third party involved. Sorry.
Don't feel bad.
Sorry, it's something new. Yeah. But guys, I'm gonna bring in our guest over here. She's by way of Wyoming here in Las Vegas, another stand-up comedian, and she reached out. She reached out when I made the original post when I put it out there. Said, "Hey, I have a platform that I want to talk about conspiracies and I want to talk about stuff." She's one of the very first people, and then we couldn't meet up at one of the dates. So this is the date that we're able to meet up. But she wanted to talk about the Vegas shooting. But she's very, very funny, deceptively funny because you expect a little bit more. Well, again, you don't expect the level of how would I say I don't want to hardcore. You know what I mean? Like you don't expect it. You see Hannah over here, and you're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be nice and sweet. And you're like, oh damn.
She sparked one of the cool local memes too.
What was the
Waldeck meme was the reaction on his face was to you, correct?
Yeah, dude. One of the most
Did any of you watch that?
Unbelievable.
Live?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch that live. But Hannah DeLeeuw, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. No, but that is we'll have to somehow link that or put that up in a pic collage because I didn't get to see it live, but that shot.
Let me tell you.
Is unbelievable.
Because at first I said yes to the show because I thought that they had to be in their underwear, the audience. Because I was like, oh, that's cool.
That's funny.
I would prefer the audience in their underwear. I thought that's what the whole thing was.
Well, that's how you're supposed to picture people, right? When you're talking in public.
Exactly. So then when Ryan was like, no, you have to be the one in your underwear. And I'm like, oh. And I don't know. I'm kind of modest, I feel. So I was like, maybe I'll just come out in Mormon underwear.
Oh,
and
nice.
I'm like,
the garments.
In the garments.
In the garments.
and the whites.
Are you Mormon?
No.
She'd have to borrow some garments.
I grew up Christian, small town, conservative shit, but definitely not Mormon. So then I was like, well,
there's nothing wrong with it.
That's not super funny.
Yeah.
I feel like I could step up, and I'm like, okay, well, I saw that the other females on the show prior didn't really get in their underwear. It seemed like I was like, they're not even in their underwear. That's not cool, you know? And so I was like, okay, you know what? I'll get in my underwear. I'll show them what they want to see, but I'm also going to mind fuck them at the same time. And
nice.
so
Being in the moment.
Yes, I decided to strip, and then I would be like, oh, you guys want to watch me eat this big banana?
Oh,
I'd be like,
nice.
yeah. And then I would like just
We got to pull up that live stream, dog. We got to get the live stream going.
I peeled the bananas just so softly and tapped it on my face, and then all of a sudden I just broke out in a seizure and smashed the banana all over my face. and like bit on the banana and shit. And
okay, there you lost
me. Okay, all right. And then
the face smash was good. The biting's kind of like yikes.
So you're in, and then you're like, oh God, what? So then I bring Chris on stage, and then I was like, I'm gonna give him a lap. I'm never given anybody a lap dance. I haven't.
That's what they all say. I don't do this normally.
I really don't. And so
just pulling down stacks.
I actually never even practiced this. It was really on the spot, because I'm like, how am I gonna practice this like in my house, in my kitchen? I don't, like, it was just awkward, and I was like, I just have to go full out with it.
That you got to be committed to it.
So,
yeah,
I mean,
totally.
Like, I kind of had some ideas, but I pulled him up on stage, and then I started teasing, and then I open up my robe, I'm facing Chris, and I pull off his blindfold, and there I am, and then I put a full-on wig in my underwear that were kind of see-through. And that's the picture you saw. I don't know if you were like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, I wish people were there, that they understood really what it was. So it looked like I just had a major bush. So then I turned around and I flashed the audience, and then I was fish out of the water. I was flopping and having seizures. I was doing the splits. I was doing the worm. I was just all over the fuck. I was falling, and then I was slipping on the banana too. And then
you're committed to the Exorcist role over there. That whole
sounds like the Elaine dance from Seinfeld.
This demon possession over here. Shit. No, I gotta be honest. I mean, you know, like in the photo that I seen, I mean, my eyes are on like the ridiculous, and that's his face. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's like there's another meme. It's like a face of like a lady that has like almost the same look and it's almost the same lighting and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, fucking Waldex kills that. Like it's unbelievable.
And I'm surprised he had that reaction, because Chris, you're like, I felt like I had to warn him. And so I was like, Chris, I don't know if you're going to freak out, but here's what I plan on doing to you. Just go along with it. And my boyfriend said, just keep your hands in your lap and we're cool.
Oh my God. That's better, dude. Oh, that's like good.
And so that's why you see him, and he's kind of just like awkward, like,
dude,
that's like when I went to Ohio in the strip club. The rules in the strip club was you have to, like, if you're getting a lap dance, you have to sit on your hands.
Oh yeah.
You have to like full blown like sit on your hands.
They used to do that in a couple places here or something like that. Yeah. What was it? I thought Cheetahs used to do that back in the day. You used to have to sit on your hands, or maybe it was just me.
Yeah.
No, Little Darlings or something like that too. I don't know. It's been a while.
That would make sense.
Not at the club that Popeye works at.
I just go to Chica's Bonitas, dog, and just get straight molested, dude. It's unbelievable. I'm married now, so I just go in there and
sit on your hands. You just go sit on your hands.
No, I'm not that guy. I don't give money. This was the thing, though. When we went there, I don't know if I mentioned this, and if I did, sorry for hearing it again. But when I went there the first time, these two chicks just grabbed me and threw me into the back and just started working on me, and I was like thinking,
working on you how?
The whole lap dance, grinding, and the whole works, grabbing my dick and the whole shebang, right? And so since I thought this was just such a organic thing, because I'm walking in there for my bachelor party, and I get yanked in the back by like these two hot chicks, I was like, oh, they already got me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I'm like, then when I'm trying to leave after the song, and they're all haggling me for money, and I was like, oh, this wasn't on them. These hoes just yanked me in there.
They extorted you.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Oh, dude. And I'm talking, man, when they were yanking, and I'm not talking about my dick. I mean, pull me into the room. I mean, when I was trying to yank, I'm talking, this was like one of them, Sylvester Stallone, like cliffhanger. Yeah, holding on. Like, this girl had to, like, she did everything but, like, break the skin on the grab. Jeez. She was two hands. It was Indian burns. Yeah. And so, just.
It's the struggles of being a sexy piece of man meat, dude.
Dude, I don't know what it was, but the thing was, it sucked because of the I had to pay. I don't like paying. I don't pay for. Usually that's how you get freebies. Yeah. Like, I ain't paying for you. Ain't paying for you. Next thing you know, they're like, oh, for real, Daddy. They're British. Yeah. Yeah. By way of Tijuana.
Was Popeye there?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's his spot.
Yeah, and then he was there. My nephew, this was for my bachelor, my nephew, real quick. He had such a good time. He went for his birthday.
Oh, nice.
And he had a money machine. Are you familiar with these?
Yeah, the shooter.
The money guns, right? So he has this money gun, and they get pesos. They get, so they want to blast it all. I was like, dude, I don't know how that's going to go racially in that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, there's some dudes in there that'll fucking cut you down real quick,
Oh yeah.
But no, they tried to. They got stacked. They got a stack of ones and shit. But they said, or they did have the other, but they didn't have the audacity to shoot the.
Oh, they didn't fire
pesos.
it off?
No. It kept getting jammed. You'd have to load. He said you had to like load it up with like
crisp, brand new ones.
Yeah, I think he said it was like 100 stacks for it to have that enough pressure to, because otherwise it would just like send out a clump. Yeah.
I'll
like
take
a potato gun.
Just hit a chick in the throat. That kind of, yeah. But that third world strip club, man, shit, they'll get you.
I want to do the mics at the strip clubs and then do a reenactment of the underwear show almost. I saw you were on that underwear show. You had a nice little photo.
Yeah. I was proud of my two-tone, three-toneness. I got to wear my little Speedos that I freaked my family out with. When I, at the pool, because we got a pool now, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna wear Speedos.
You wear those around your children?
Oh yeah. You know what I mean?
Everybody gets that show. Yeah, that's an all ages show.
Yeah. And so it's comfortable in it.
Children have them too.
I'm comfortable in it.
The children have them too. Everybody wears that over there.
Yeah.
Very European over there at the Mala house.
We try. Yeah, that was a great show. That was a really fun show. And I think I have it on. God, I hope I have it on video. Oh, no. I think I have it recorded, at least audio. But I had a really good. Oh, man, I hope I have it on video, dude, because I had like some good bits where I was just like, no pun intended, but freeballing it. I was like I was improvising.
Yeah.
And I was
that's
like.
all you have to do for these shows. Like,
and
you just have to.
I was just talking about my dick because you could see it through the thing, you know what I mean? And I was like, and there's like this old old vet, I don't know if he was like a Vietnam vet or anything like that. He was just like shaking his head, and then he was like laughing. And then when we're leaving, he's like, he goes, I'd like to shake your hand. I was still in the Speedos. He goes, I'd like to shake your hands, but you need to dress. You need to dress. You need to be dressed.
You need to get dressed, son.
I was just standing all there. But yeah, that was a great show. It was a fun crowd, man.
I guess they do those shows more back east, and I think they have naked comedy too.
I've seen people do. I've seen and know a couple of comics that have done comedy at a nudist colony. Dude,
could you do it? I couldn't.
I guess. Here's the deal. When I think nudist colony, I got to be honest, I'm thinking it's someplace like cold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like colony, I just expect you're like in the woods doing, like not in the woods, but like maybe in a prairie. Like if it was like if it was like a fucking like a nude cruise or something, you know what I mean? It's like I'd be like, mate, you know, like fuck yeah, why not, dude? Fucking, but you know, I'm not a big swanging dude, but I've gotten more like, oh, I was expecting a little guy, you know. So I was like, all right, okay, sweet. We're not just smashing clits. All right, we're doing okay. It's you know, but
a
I
grower,
could do it.
not a shower.
Yeah. I'm not a doorstop, you know. So, but and my whole thing is like, well, I made kids, so that's all I care about.
It works. It's functional.
It got
functional
it,
tool.
It got it where it needed to go. But I don't know how much money's involved, because money has got to be involved in this now.
But we didn't get paid for the underwear show, and we were practically naked. So money did not matter then.
Yeah, but my jibbies,
art, right? All for the craft, right?
But my jibbies weren't fully exposed.
True.
You know, and well, you know, hey, just comp my trip on the nude cruise. You know what I mean? That's pretty good. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For 10 minutes.
Just got to bring your own spending cash.
Yeah.
For 10 minutes.
Yeah. How long you set you gonna?
I want to do like 45.
Oh, you
dude.
do 45.
I want to do like a whole stretching set.
No.
I want to have my leg up.
He's
and
gonna
shit.
cough a couple times.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, let's change it. Let's change the subject. Let's get into it. Actually, one of the things that we wanted to talk about or discuss, and this is one of the things. You know, I've been recently going over stuff because lately, with the new news from that came out, which is basically a reiteration of what they said months before.
Yeah.
That the Metropolitan Police Department, as well as the FBI, they're not going to go forth with any more investigation. They can't determine any type of motive. Everything's a dead end, and he hated what? He hated Trump? Was that the thing? Or he hated the casinos?
Yeah.
He hated the administration. He hated the casinos, and he hated country music. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, what? Like that's what they're leaving us with. They're saying one guy put all this together, shot. He hit
hundreds.
Yeah, he hit hundreds of people. I think the number is like 500 that were like hit or injured from this. I don't know if it's from a direct bullet, but anything sustained an injury. I can't. Don't quote me on anything. And then we have 58 dead.
Yep.
59 counting the shooter, but that's, you know, you don't count that guy. He doesn't matter in that statistic. So many anomalies. So many.
Let me tell you what's frustrating. It pisses me the fuck off. First off, this is 16 months after the event. 16 months after. Here we are. We've been waiting. We don't have answers. And we are promised this investigative report a year after. And here it is 16 months after. And it's a 2.5-page summary basically saying that they can't determine a motive, but they know that it's not. They're basically saying it's not ISIS. And we're just like,
yes.
I'm like, I wanted to read this and hear like at this time, this person did this and like timelines and the breakout and how did this happen. And it was done by a review panel, which consisted of 23 people. These aren't just like people with credentials. These are 23 random ass people that, we don't even know their background. And then they just get to determine if this is ISIS based or not. Like, what makes them qualify?
We don't even know what information they were given to determine that.
Right.
Well, here's
but
here's
they
the
did
thing.
release.
Well, I was gonna say let's wind it back a little bit, because if anybody is listening, other than like when you're passionate about this and not closed-minded, when you start looking at evidence and not the narrative, there has been, since day one, there has been connections to ISIS. There's been also Saudi assassination attempts. There has been reports of multiple shootings in multiple different locations, all happen at the same time. There has been crazy helicopter flight paths and what look like actual extractions that haven't been addressed by any media source other than what's considered conspiracy. This is data that is there that people can, I guess, supposedly look up according to people who have looked this up. There's so much that's going on that it's just left to single shooter. And right, so what I'm getting at is, Hannah, you bring up ISIS on this deal, right? And this is stuff that people have like talked about. Now, one of the things is let's just talk about Paddock, the shooter, for a second, okay? They want everybody to believe that this guy was a
lone wolf.
He was a lone wolf, but he was which is a key word, okay? And we're gonna bring that up here in a little bit, but. He was a postal worker. He was a gambler. He was a real estate guy. He was an accountant for
IRS auditor.
Yeah, he was like an auditor for like
planes?
He flew. So man of mystery, barely seen, rarely photographed, billionaire, million times over, inventor, aviator,
super credentials.
Like, we really don't know anything about him. You know,
his dad was on the FBI most wanted list.
Yeah, his dad was a bank robber, and then this is something. I mean, this goes so deep. But his brother in California,
Eric?
one of his was busted with like child porn. But usually that's something they do to silence people. So
you know what? Here's the thing with the child porn. I think it was just a fucking distraction when the news came out because he was caught with it, and Stephen Paddock had child porn on his computer as well. And to me, it kind of relates it back to ISIS for me, because here's how ISIS makes their money. They do some child trafficking.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is based out of the Philippines, which conveniently where Mary Lou Danley was. Yeah. And
which is Paddock's girlfriend.
Right. And
then there's news about her now.
Oh, don't even get me started.
All right.
On her.
Started.
So, guys, you're in for the meat. If you don't know about this, we're going to get into the meat. So
we're getting into it. You know what? Let me back up.
Real quick, just tilt your mic towards me just a tad. At the top. A little bit towards me. Yeah, there you go. So when you're talking, it's just a little bit more right in the front.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Oh, fuck. I fucked it up.
No. I just want to get you instead of.
So you were at the ISIS child trafficking Philippines, Mary Lou Danley.
Oh, first off, I want to back it up because I've been in Vegas for 2 years now, and I think it's absolutely corrupt. I don't think you have to be so dumb if you don't see how corrupt this city is, ranging from the FBI, the LVMPT, or Metro. I just fucked up that acronym.
No, that's it. LVMPD. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. You got it.
And how the media and all the casinos all fucking work together.
Oh, yeah.
And
so much stuff goes underreported. Trust me.
And all of it is so fucking money based. It's like, we don't care. We don't want people to see this shit. That's why we didn't hear it after like 3 fucking days of the incident. We just stopped hearing about it. And
one of the things that I caught a lot of heat from me, that started a lot of the heat from a lot of the comedians and people in town and stuff like that, was one of the very first things when I was like, don't bring politics as far as, should that should have happened, whatever, and taking guns away. Like, think about what's going on as far as like finding out what the ultimate thing is. And then I started posting. I was like, hey, look, I'm gonna let you know right now, they're gonna bury this in the news. I go, in 2 weeks, there's going to be 2 to 3 weeks, there's going to be another shooting. Then after that, there's going to be another shooting after that. I go, this is going to be totally go away. And I go, I put in a post, and it's somewhere on there on Facebook. And I go, it's our responsibility to keep this in everybody's mind's eye, to keep this something going. I said this probably a day, two days after it happened, right? What happened right after that? There's the shooting in Texas at the church, right? The only thing is the shooting at the Texas church. There was a guy that was like a hero in that deal.
Yeah.
The guy from the fucking, he was something that the media hated. He was a NRA member that fucking shot. But that's kind of like a psyop in itself too, because again, you get into the symbolism. People have broken this down. Symbolism within these things, within a secret societies that would be involved in any kind of thing like this. But shoeless people. And then also in the Vegas shooting, they show in interviews, they show people with one. It's specifically in interviews that people have one shoe or they've been shoeless. They ran shoeless to whatever. Really weird that they would make note of that, right? And then also is like the shoeless thing with the guy that did the shooting in Texas.
Yeah, he came running out of his house, right?
Came running out of his house barefoot,
yeah.
right? So everybody's like, oh, you can't believe that. The only thing is that guy didn't talk to any mainstream media. He only talked to Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder did an interview with him, and he broke it all the way down. And at that time, I don't think Crowder was bought and paid for or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, he's a pretty independent dude, or, I think he's got reign. He didn't really get into conspiracy, just got into the shooting or anything like that. Then right after that, Parkland happens. Boom, nail in the coffin. You never hear about the Vegas shooting again.
Yeah.
Why did I think Parkland happened before Vegas?
Am
I wrong?
Mandela effect? I don't know.
Never mind.
Yeah, yeah.
But I am flabbergasted with this city, just how corrupt, and this isn't protocol. What the FBI in Vegas did is not protocol. You would think
they moved in less than 24 hours and took over.
Right.
It was like they were waiting.
There was a lot of weird shit involved.
And even one of the things real quick, even something that Sam Tripoli brought up, he goes, dude, when they had these guys on the news and stuff, they were ready to go in suits, boo, bam, makeup done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, that's some shit you need to set up. You need time for, But real quick, one of the things I want to point out, just before we get started, talking about Lone Wolf Lombardo, back with the Bundy shooting.
Don't get me shit. Okay,
but back with the Bundy Ranch.
Sorry.
Right? The Bundy Ranch deal, right? He said from that, ever since that incident, he was saying the number one threat to Vegas would be a lone wolf situation where he would shoot into a crowd of people, or he'd go into a mall or do something. It'd be a lone wolf thing, right? Well, as and I'll give this to but as when you're listening to the scanners when this is going down,
I was listening to him before it got to the news.
Well, but you have all the stuff going on, right? You have live tweets, you have people streaming and all sorts of stuff happening. And you have the news going on and Sheriff Lombardo saying lone wolf, single shooter, da-da-da-da. And you hear on this thing like there's chaos going on. Like, how are you calling this like that?
Right.
And I knew right then and there, but it's, the gut tells you, something's not right. Just from knowing. And that's one of the things is you hear these words, you hear this thing, you hear this stuff. So I'll quit stepping on everybody's shit. Sorry, but
with that, because I was listening to the police scanners, I for sure thought it was multiple shooters just attacking the strip. Just by how they were reporting it, it was just like, we got an active shooter at the Bellagio, we got an active shooter at New York, and you're just like, oh my God, it's it was so quick for them to call that he acted alone.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, is they had all this information on this dude, but no information on the guy.
They call this 8 hours after the shooting, but yet they give out a report 16 months later. And I mean, like, they're obviously they're lying. They know the motive. They know what happened. They just don't want Vegas to find out about it.
Well, the thing about this Paddock guy, I mean, it's been talked about before, and it's been brought up in, on Reddit and all sorts of shit like that and other podcasts. But the guy is a fucking gun runner. He's like a CIA gun runner. I forget what exact agency he did like auditing or taxes or
IRS.
Whatever. It was like the IRS, but it was like something else. It was like another like it was like a
black budget,
like a Raytheon, or it's like a like a weapons company or some something weird like that.
Yeah.
But this dude, he's like a pilot, right? So he has the hallmark makings of a gun runner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, oh, he just became a gun nut. It was like, now they're just painting the story. They can take what's there and they can say, oh, he bought all this. They could just produce all these receipts or whatever. You know how fucking how diabolical it can get. That people think it's only Hollywood shit, but he has these ties to ISIS. He has these ties, like you're saying, his girlfriend from via the Philippines and shit like that. Well, I forgot where I was making my connection.
Let me go on the gun running part.
Right.
Because I thought for sure when I saw that they weren't giving any details about any of his guns, like how many he's purchased like very vague details, but we can get real documentation of this stuff. And we didn't see any papers. So if he bought those guns legally, we would have very detailed information, way more detailed information about all of his guns.
They document that every gun you buy, you get a background check. There's a
I'm a gun owner, and it's like they fucking know everything about
they supposedly
my guns.
did for like a good handful of guns, like the guns that were used, or but here's the thing: is like. I was talking about him running. He supposedly joins ISIS. Now, what happens if he's a part of like any kind of like program or anything like that, where he's working for the government as like a way to sell guns to these ISIS guys to whatever set up either manufacture terrorism and or bust bad guys. Who knows, right? This is happening right when the SHOT Show's happening. This is one of the largest gun shows in town, whatever, what have you. But Paddock, I think that there was, I think there's a few things that are going on here, but I think that it was a gun deal that was set up in an assassination, or not an assassination, but a terrorist act. Here's the thing: is ISIS took responsibility for it. They claimed they said that they had a guy, and that this was the thing that he had set up that they were going to do, and they have a very low percentage of the stuff that they falsely claim.
No, they haven't falsely claimed. I think there may have been one incident, but so yes, the thing with ISIS is they don't claim anything that they didn't do. ISIS predicted. They warned us.
They had propaganda videos with like those stripping and stuff.
They had a lot of propaganda videos warning us. Our Las Vegas was higher on the terror level attack on New Year's Eve than New York. We had more security in our city than New York City, of all places. And because we had an idea. Now, there were also there were a lot of other hints. The FBI totally was aware of Paddock. One thing is that one of his bank accounts was flagged for suspicion of terror, like
funding terrorism or what, like giving it to known.
Well, he was sending money out of the country to the Philippines. It
was to the Philippines.
Was that the $150K, or was it other money other than what he gave to his girlfriend before he?
I don't know the quantity, but
he gave his girlfriend $150K before before everything happened.
Which in the Philippines is like a cool million.
Oh, dude, no!
It's
that's
a lot
more.
in the Philippines.
It's like 50. It's a general thing to say, but I think it's like 51, 52 to 1.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So
yeah,
his account.
If I hit a jackpot, I'm going there.
His account, it's mandatory that they flag their account, and then they send it to basically this database, and then the FBI is supposed to dig deeper and go into this. So the bank did that, and they were aware that he was flagged for sending money, large amounts of money across to the Philippines. So that was number one. Also, he also told an Uber driver, and you could tell that the Uber driver didn't speak very well English by her. She tried to transcript what he said, but he basically told her that there was going to be a terror attack by Mandalay Bay.
Yeah.
And the FBI was aware of that too. And
well, you have these things sometimes that happen. There are these events, and they happen for. It's almost like they happen for like these rich elites. It's like something for them to watch.
Yeah.
You know, and there's nothing that's gonna stop it. And I think that this could be also one of those things, almost like a JFK assassination in a sense, because what I'm getting at here is like when JFK was assassinated, there was a whole bunch of people, and there's other, there's all sorts of stories of how people would watch live in these parties because they knew what was going to happen, like secret societies. It was like a fucking like, here we go. They're going to fucking do it, and Vegas, what I'm getting at is the Four Seasons, the Mandalay Bay up top.
Yeah.
Up there, it was rented out, and supposedly staying at the time was like the Saudi prince. And one of the people in question, they think that like the Vegas shooting could have been a cover up for an assassination attempt of another Saudi prince. And the guy, they show like there's video, I think you can still find it on there, that it shows in Tropicana, SWAT team, instead of being at the Mandalay Bay, SWAT team is escorting what appears to be the Saudi guy that was in the, a target for. People said it's not, but supposedly the guy that was in Vegas at the time and then was a target or whatnot was a big owner or big stockholder in Twitter, and he died in another assassination attempt. Successful assassination with his helicopter or some shit being shot down or whatnot.
Wow.
There's a big war going on with the Saudis. So we have like this craziness going on.
I did see a lot of helicopter footage.
And then you can see, well, another thing is there's like a lot of heat with like this whole thing, let's say between the Saudis and like the different regime that was coming in with Donald Trump, and stuff. This could have been like a shot across the bow. You know what I mean? This could have been like a warning. This could have been, the timing of it is also within stuff that's considered during times of like a great sacrifice, there's just so much to fucking that they've left open. They left they left it open for this speculation. They
left it open. We had to do our own investigating because they weren't giving us answers and trying to forget about it.
They never will.
They never will, but they know. They just, like I said, they just don't want Vegas. And who's going to come to Vegas? It's all money run. They want they want the tourists. They don't.
Well, that's one of the things is like, what have they pushed? What have we pushed?
I think
hockey.
Yeah.
What have we pushed? Sports. What have we pushed? All this entertainment. What have we pushed? Like more and more gambling, even though gambling numbers are down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of Vegas money's coming in from the entertainment aspect of things, but
let's bring on the Raiders and so I definitely am not a fan of Lombardo, and I think he's a huge liar.
He's been caught in lies his whole career.
I mean,
Mikey is your expert on this.
Yeah.
So
I defer to Mikey.
I've dug deep into Lombardo. I've been on him since was it Desert Sky, when Desert Sky failed. He's Lombardo's a radio guy.
Right. He had the $40 million thing that failed.
Desert Sky.
Oh, that's what that was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now Motorola don't they endorse him or sports?
Well, they've and he's blacked out the scanners too in Vegas. They're all encrypted for Metro.
Oh, every footage. He told Metro to turn off their body cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even in this last police shooting
They
the other day in
have that
Summerlin.
video. They have that video of the other officer telling the other guys before they go in the room to turn off their body cameras.
Yeah. Turn it off. and we had got wind early before anybody that wasn't in that hotel room. We got wind of there was an accidental discharge.
Oh yeah.
A police officer fired his gun in the hotel room accidentally. And that didn't come out for months, but we had that info for weeks before that came out. So it's he's a little shady. He's done some stuff,
And he's also made racially charged comments. And I mean,
the dudes.
He said, what did he say about his daughter's boyfriend? I don't want that spook near my family. And they released it, but the way they released it wasn't that great. They could have done a better job when they released that.
What do you mean a better job? As in, like,
well,
to make him not look as creepy, or they just gave the ultimate fucking?
No, the guys that had that information, friends of mine, they decided to release it in a rap song. Did you see that?
No.
They released that. Yeah, they did it in a rap song, and no one really took it serious. And they did it late in the game because it was right before the election. They should have done it like 6 weeks prior and done it on a more official release, but they did it in a rap song, and it didn't hold much water. That led me to another theory I'll tell you about later. But there was just it was.
Got family members in politics. That's why.
Well, no. I don't want to out my friends that did anything, but.
The police force didn't even really have his back when it came to the re-election. I think only 96% of the police did not.
86% disapproval rate.
86
from the police
it
union.
wasn't 96.
Yeah,
but
that's still strong. That's ridiculously strong for your boss.
Ridiculously strong, and that's because they're kind of just forced to. They were forced not to talk about this. And that's why you don't see them doing a lot of interviews.
The problem with Vegas, though, is not too many people really get into the voting here on the local level because so many people are not from here. So they just don't get involved, and they don't care, and they don't do their research. So you have a huge percentage of the population that's only been here for, 3 or 4 years maybe, that are our voters.
Right.
And they don't know about, like, all this stuff that's in the past. And there's too much going on to bring it to light to all these newer people, and then the voting numbers on that were super low.
It's sad because
it was like below 100,000.
To the blind eye, when he came out with comforting the public with what is going on, people kind of looked up to him and like, like he's.
Well, that first initial one, that was almost like there was like sincerity, you know what I mean, like, and then the spooks came in, and he was different after everything.
Aaron
after
Rodgers?
that, isn't that the football player?
Is that the football player?
It's
Aaron Rodgers.
Something.
I don't know. Isn't that the quarterback?
Aaron something. But,
no, I know who you're talking about. The FBI goon.
Yeah. So I mean, he lies straight out of the back. He said he checked in September 28th. Turns out he checked in September 25th. I mean, it's just little things, the timelines, having them be quiet, having them turn off their body cams. And because he was so worried about his re-election and making sheriff again, of course, all of this is hush-hush, including the MS-13 gang killings going on in Vegas. Those are hush-hush.
Oh, yeah.
We exposed all that.
Already?
No, but that's how everybody knows about that. We broke a lot of that out. Like, we did a lot of research and exposed a lot of that stuff.
And we as in Mikey and his crew.
Yeah, and parts of people I run around with that are big on this is my buddy Ramsey Dennison. He made a movie called What Happened in Vegas.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know him?
I was in that movie.
Oh, okay.
I'm in the sequel coming up.
I saw Phil Kotler and Steven Stubbs.
Okay.
On there, but I only watched half of it before.
Yeah, and then Laura Loomer's also a good friend of mine.
I love Laura Loomer.
She's and I mean this in the best way. When it comes down to like journalism, she's a monster beast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's a badass. Sure. I admire her.
She's amazing. And she's not afraid of shit. And she just to bring up something, she just got
dude.
She's been deplatformed. They took her off Twitter. So the next biggest thing today was PayPal blocked her.
Oh yeah. Dude.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. This is real quick. Total side note on this deal. This is what's going on. Okay.
Yeah.
On all these social media platforms that spent millions upon millions, in the billions. How much money did Clinton spend? Like $2 billion was like in campaign money she spent on her campaign, right? It was all these tech giants and shit, right? All these money, throwing this money for these campaigns and stuff. Where Trump spent fucking next to nothing, and because the people that were on his side were using social media, everybody was exposing Clinton and exposing all stuff, right, on their social media and all shit like that. She loses.
Yeah.
Right? She loses, right? Everybody, they're fucking pissed. They're like, how could we lose? We fucking rigged the system. We rigged the game, we still fucking lose, right? Now look what they're doing. To get their investment back, their money back, they got to get their fucking player in there. They use all the fucking media. Everybody's fucking going after Trump, dude. You know what I mean? Like all this crazy shit. And I'm not fucking Trumping, but what I'm saying is like they're going after all this crazy shit. And now all the Democrats that are trying to get in on this deal, everybody's running because they want this money. They want a piece of this fucking money that they're going to, the next candidate they're going to throw at and shit, right? But what they're doing, what they got going on is, fuck, I got high again.
First off, the Trump administration was the first to ban bump stocks.
But hold on, real quick though, because there's like that whole flip. But the stuff that was used to shatter the left's, the Democrats' facade, right? All the stuff that they used was counteracted and fucking exposed, right? Everybody that was at the point, because all the numbers are there. Who's watching? Why does they're looking? Boom, 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 boom. They're taking them all out. You look at the fucking left that says all this crazy shit. They're attacking everything. They're all fucking there. They're still on the platform. You know what I mean? This is a systematic removal, and this is like it's a means of controlling the narrative and the information and shit like that. But that's what they're doing. That's why Laura's getting removed. That's why Gavin McInnes. That's why Alex Jones and other people, smaller people, and people on the left that have been critical, and people who play no part. Like they just anomaly. The guy that plays like the middle of the road but points out the obvious. He was just banned from Facebook for 3 days. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like stupid small shit. They're going because these are things that swayed. That swayed the left, the people that were like, they could have got those votes, but they didn't get those votes.
And that's a term that came up like recently too, is the whole Facebook jail thing. You know, like people getting their accounts shut down for 3 weeks or 30 days or longer, or you know what I mean? Yeah. Or just totally blocked and banned from Facebook. It's like crazy.
Yeah. What's funny is out of nowhere I just started. I got banned for a couple of days. I would get flagged in these jokes. First, it started with a joke that was from 2016. Then it went to 2014, and then 2012. And I got banned. And it was like, you violated. And I was like, what? I was like, you went back to fucking like 2012 to ban me on a joke. And that one, they banned me from. It wasn't the fact that it was nothing bad that I said. The first joke was about. Something about if you're feeling gender fluid, it's time to check your tranny. Yeah. Right?
That's hilarious.
It had like a whole bunch of likes and shit, nothing, but that was the first one they flagged me on. And then the other ones were like me making a note of like a tranny. Like one of them was like, oh, the best dress, the only one that decided to actually dress up is the tranny. You know, it was like and then the other one I was like, all the regular girls need to take makeup lessons from the tranny in the room or what, you know what I mean? Like some shit like that. And that was one, but they banned me. They went through an anomaly, didn't even know what he got banned for. I don't even know if I'm sure he knows now because whatever, I'm sure he dug it. But at the time he was like, I don't even know what they yanked me because I said something that I think it was like because he questioned Clinton or something like that. But
well, that's why Kevin Hart is off the grid.
What, he shut down his
because of the Oscars thing?
Yeah, because they dug way back, and they.
And he had already addressed that issue back then, and like the whole second apology thing is like lame. So I kind of stand with him on that. Like if he already addressed it and apologized for it, just pull that apology back up. The same way you pulled the old joke back up, it still stands. And we all tell jokes, right? in their jokes. Like
They're
that's
jokes.
it. That's it. Like, that's what it is. It's a fucking joke.
Yeah, totally.
And I get it. The regular people that don't like jokes, fuck off.
And what's crazy is like, I mean, really, are you that high strung that you can't tell the difference between a joke and like anger? You know what I mean? Like there's the energy behind it, the preface, like, you know what I mean?
And all that allowance of all that stuff led up to the Roseanne situation.
What
whatever she said about the lady looking like the Planet of the Apes lady, and they said she was racist.
Which she did.
She does look like her. It's a fucking fact. Like the side by side, she fucking looks like her.
That would be the first go-to roast joke.
And then the thing, for sure,
that'd be the very first thing that you would say in a roast from the picture that you've seen. That would be the first thing that you'd fucking do.
And leave race out of it because it's not a racial thing. It's just a fucking observation. She looks like the fucking lady.
Dude.
But let's go to the extreme and take her out of her show.
Yeah, and then all the other people that worked on the show, and then the supporters of it were like, oh well, that's cool because she's a Trump supporter. Like that's what it came down to. It was like, oh well, she's in that show. She supports Trump. She's Republican, so we don't want that on our fucking, And that's what it came down to. It was like, oh my god.
Well, see, that's kind of symbolic in a sense, when you talk about the right and like everything is like, that's symbolic to the shooting, in the sense that it was this was supposedly like an attack on the right. You got a country crowd, right? And it's supposedly, people are, supporting the Second Amendment. So now, this is an issue.
And then, the gun rights issues after.
Yeah, this is supposed to like break the people, the pro Second Amendment people,
right?
Into whatever. I don't think it'll ever do that, but in that situation. That was created, everything that was like done, because people talked about how like on that third night, places where they were walking in and out of were closed.
Yeah, you
couldn't go out of certain exits that were there the other 2 days of the concert.
Yeah, all barricaded. And
you know what I mean? Like it's like they
bottlenecking.
Yeah, exactly. They shut, and so. Again,
do you see
there's
how
there's so much going on.
The big thing that came out of the concert too was for an event, there's a protocol for what you need to have on hand as far as off-duty police, on-duty police, security, all that stuff. That paperwork, people have been trying to get their hands on it. It's hidden deep. You know what I mean? So
right.
So
who's there, right?
Who's there? And there has to be like a lieutenant and so many sergeants and all this stuff. And those guys take those gigs. And a lot of times they don't go to them, but they get paid for being there, right? So that information, people are trying to get their hands on that.
And there was nothing proven that they had implemented extra security, knowing that they're going to have 20,000 people or how many 20,000 were there?
I think so, yeah.
Across the street, like right next to these big casinos. Like, did they really?
Not only that,
there's no evidence that they put in extra security or protocol for that event that they co-promoted.
The venue itself is a really weird. Have you been to the venue?
Well, I've been from the Mandalay Bay.
Looking down at it?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been on site at that venue?
Yes,
it's a really weird place.
They had a food truck festival there.
That's what I was there
ago.
for. Yes, and it's a really weird place because it's not.
They fucked everybody because where you could park.
Yes.
They fucking towed everybody where they told you to park. They towed everybody.
That's what I'm getting at. It's an event that holds 20,000 people or more if they want to open up more space for it, but it's not like your traditional venue where it's like Thomas and Mack or T-Mobile or anywhere else. We've all been to concerts. It's just an outdoor fenced-in corral basically. And
you have to park at a casino
and walk there. So there should have been more security just on hand for the pedestrian factor that everybody's on foot going in and out of this place, and there wasn't.
Well, the other thing is like when you want to talk about security and stuff is right. Okay, remember when the deal, and then the Foodie Fest, you had to park in that parking lot over there on the side,
by
right?
the apartments.
No,
that's where I parked. Was back by the apartments.
No.
East of there.
No. It was the parking was right where the tanks are, and in the
Oh, okay, so you went to the south lot.
That was where the Area 51, the Janets were. That's where the planes right there. An event and shit going on in a place that's supposedly so sensitive, whatever. Like, I never understood why they had that fucking place there because of that. I mean, you're right there. Like, if you had anything, anybody could, or it would
that
be
area
easy
itself
for,
is like super secure as
if
far as
anybody
there's
wanted
things going on in that area.
But if anybody wanted to do something funky, that would be a great distraction to like go and. Right. But I mean, there's nothing there at the terminal. I wouldn't think there'd be anything at the terminal. Who knows? It's probably everything at the.
What's most disturbing is what has Mandalay Bay since then implemented to prevent this from happening again? And I don't think that they have. I honestly don't think they have upped their security at all.
I don't think they because I don't think they have to because this was manufactured. This was something that was. And here's one of the things: when the FBI or whoever knows, and it happens, it's what they referred to. I've heard of it referred to or had this acronym LHOP. Let it happen on purpose. Yeah. It's like you let these goons and you let this stuff happen. I mean, they have these information, these intel. Networks and stuff like that. They have this information gathering, these sources and stuff. They know what's going on. When stuff happens, it's unless it's a random shit that's out of control. But stuff like this with these people, this type backgrounds and all that. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and all the key players have been suspect. From the sheriff to the FBI guy to the security guard that was on the floor. To the head of the MGM selling his stocks a couple months, or a month or so before this all happens, and then it just, there's so much, but like, just to put it off on Paddock, they said now one of the things is the timeline, a lot of that information went in through, was given to this guy over here. And they were the ones that gave it to Laura to call out Lombardo.
Nice.
And one of the things is mainstream media buries it instead of presses with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even the ones that supposedly care.
Yeah.
And that's the issue is like, a lot of people they wanted to take offense like question this is not disrespect to the families. It's not anything that's, to marginalize the victims. It's something that terrifies all of us, and that it's just so casually just strolled past. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to sit and dwell on it. I didn't. But the thing is like something like this just happened, and then they want to expect fucking people to come here and feel safe. Right. I mean, and then this was also called out. A month ahead of time. September 10th. A guy on like 4chan got on. I think he went under the name John, and he goes like, "Yeah, I feel sorry for you people. I just want to let you know if you're gonna be." And he said it was like 9/11. Well, the thing is, when it comes to the Vegas shooting at Harvest 91, it all like if you put the number, October 1st, you put it all together, it's like fucking 2009/11. You know what I mean? Like 2001. It's like it's weird how it all comes together. It's fucking crazy the numbers or whatever, the month and then the harvest. Yeah. Huh. So but one of the things is a lot of this was like it was said before. It led up to this. Then it happens. There's more questions than there are fucking answers.
Too many questions.
Too
many policies got exposed. Too much stuff got exposed. The whole thing with the security guard, how they're not allowed to call 911. Did you know about that policy?
Well, am I not mistaken? Don't they have a red phone or whatnot to the fucking to SWAT?
Yeah, they supposedly have a back line to SWAT, but they're not allowed to call directly 911 or they lose their job.
Well, because that would, no.
I never heard about this.
Yeah, well, you can't have a casino, especially with something you could cause mass hysteria. and then one of the things.
I have so much stuff, dude.
One of the things is you could. It's a liability for it's a PR.
Right.
It's a PR thing, ultimately. But
yeah, it's there's so much. I have to look at my notes, but there's policies that you're not allowed to call 911. You have to call your supervisor. So the security guard, when he was shot, didn't call 911 like he should have, and given him direct information of where he was because he knew where he was.
Did you hear
the building?
Did you hear his? Did you hear his call in when he called it in? The audio that they released.
Yeah.
Did you hear it? Did it sound? Did you hear it?
I want to say yes. Remind me.
When Campos calls in and says that there's somebody shooting in the room, did you hear the call?
Mm-hmm.
What would you think? Like about that? I mean, you haven't heard it recently.
I can't remember.
Okay.
But he was saying the door was barricaded, but it was like, how would you have known?
I don't have the ability to pull it up right now, and I'm not crafty enough to find it and dub it in and put it in on the thing. Campos gets on his radio, and he's like, whatever, says the numbers that he needs to say, and then he says the floor of the room. And he's like, and there's somebody, and he's like this. He's like, hey, is there somebody shooting on this floor? Da 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 da. And then that's it. At that point, he was supposedly shot in the leg, in the thigh, in the femur or whatnot, in the thigh, by a high-powered automatic weapon that they sprayed down the fucking.
I wanted to see.
Right?
I wanted to see X-rays. I wanted to see the real thing. It was just wrapped up in a
There
cast.
was no bullet holes in the door that they supposedly shot out of.
Blew out the fucking door.
Right?
And then it's just wrapped up in a cast, and now he's the face of Ellen. Like,
yeah, well,
who's not a journalist.
Well,
No.
She's a paid entertainer.
she's a paid
And
entertainer.
she was the only one that got an interview with him.
who has a slot machine deal with
she's
MGM,
Oh, yeah.
partnered with
slot
MGM.
machine, right?
All works
But
together.
the dude was shot in the dude was shot in the leg, and he's just on the fucking radio. He's like, "Yeah, dude, shoot." He's like, "There's shots over here on floor." Da da da.
Right.
No panic. Like, I've been shot.
Yeah.
Da, da, da. I mean, you hear people.
You hear
you know,
panic.
and. No, totally. Even when there's like live
Even
gunshots.
if you listen to police scanners a lot, you can hear panic in seasoned officers when they're in a shooting or when shots are fired or another officer's down.
Oh, dude, you
for sure.
You see those body cam? They squeal and scream. They're
And
like
you're
high.
breathing. Adrenaline affects your breathing.
No, they're total high panic. I mean, like you hear high squealing, screaming. Scared for their life. This dude's supposedly shot, and he's not like, I'm bleeding. I need medical help. There's shooting up here. Get somebody now. There was like there's shots fired on this floor.
And then right after it, how is he just automatic? How did he get to Mexico?
Well, that was the thing. He was supposed to go on Hannity, and then he left. He was supposedly en route or in the building, and then he ends up leaving, goes totally ghost. High profile case in the country, one of the highest in the country. This dude is like the sound off guy, right, on the whole thing, right? The guy to call it in. He goes ghost somehow with a shot up fucking leg, leaves wherever he was supposed to go for this interview, gets in a car, drives 3 days down to Mexico, hangs out for a couple of days, and then drives back. First place he shows up is Ellen. Very first thing Ellen says when she gets into this, now this is the only interview you're going to do. This is the only one you're going to do. She says it like we talked, I think with Tab, we talked about it like, she said it like 5 or 6 times in that fucking interview. Just and then he hasn't
Done another thing.
Then the backdrop about this guy is like, he was like totally new to working. And he supposedly didn't even pass his background check. He was not even logged in. They don't even have him like da 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 da. and that's shrouded in obscurity. We don't see much history into that. It's
all
like,
the
what
security guards are wiped out besides him. I heard something that they have let go the majority of the employees that were working that night and basically hired in kind of like a whole new fresh batch besides Jesus Campos.
Makes sense.
Well, I could see with his celebrity,
doesn't he
but
like live there now, Jesus, or does he just work there? I think he might just work there full time now.
I don't know.
Probably got a promotion.
But here's another thing too. When this dude was Campos was up at his house supposedly or whatnot, they all of a sudden there was like the security team, and didn't Laura go to that? Yeah. And Laura was the one that like found out that the business license for the security team had like expired like a year or two before, and they weren't even like in operation, and the guy didn't even know like it was like real.
And who paid for that?
Yeah, and then
do you know how expensive that is to get round the clock private security, even if it's just one guy?
Then like Paddock's house in Reno was burglarized, everything was stolen.
But it's under the biggest FBI watch, like
but it was under FBI surveillance, and you know he had like 3 times the amount of guns that he did in the hotel room.
Who would even have the balls to rob that house after that shooting?
Exactly.
Like, who would even have the balls?
Some sick man.
Not
fucking
even a sick guy.
tweakers,
No,
dude.
not even. It would have to be. You would think it would have to be some like former special operations people.
It would be
the only people who would be able to pull it off.
Yeah,
but
they would be like, they're like, all right, dude.
Unless El Chapo dug a fucking tunnel up into the garage,
dude. They're like Operation Blackjack, fucking flush it, right? You know what I mean? Fucking went in there, got all his shit out, and then they're like, here we go, start do.
And then his computer had a missing hard drive.
We have more strange
3
shit.
cell phones.
Yeah.
Let's just not, because I mean we can just go down the rabbit hole about this, but let's just switch gears and go into the anomalies about in the odd occurrences with witnesses and witness testimonials, and a good handful of witnesses have died. They've had untimely deaths. You might get this, but percentage-wise, it's actually I think it's fairly high. Someone did some math on this, and again, I'm not your guy. I don't remember names. I just go through all this stuff, but they said it was very unique in a sense, the percentage of witnesses that have died. But the thing is one of the things that they pointed out, all of them have had testimony that has supposedly gone against the narrative.
Oh, all of them for sure.
And one of the things about that was there was a police officer that was a part of the raid into the room, and I could be mistaken, but this gentleman was actually, I'm just trying to collect my thoughts here, but he was busted for child porn and like whatever, supposedly grooming or something like that. These like, and they chased him out into the desert over here, and it made the news, and they immediately and I actually was somebody who didn't know about his background or anything. I just saw the story, read the story, and I was like, fuck this creep. I posted it. I was like, this is... And then I found out that he was a guy that was a part of the whole thing, and I was like, holy fuck. And I was like, this is a way that they discredit people and stuff. And I was like, I wonder what... And I don't know what's happened. I don't know the deal. It could be legit. It could be. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't say either way, but I do know... unless convicted, but even convicted, I would just have to say it is suspect. It is a bit spooky that somebody that was involved with that. I would love to see what his testimony was about.
Right.
I'd love to see what his testimony was about the shooting. But yeah, supposedly these people are dying. Then you have that last shooting that just happened out in California at the country bar. That was a gathering of Vegas shooting victims. And it was like a thing that they did.
Yeah. How many victims were there that were from the 91 festival that were there? How many? There were at least a few that were at that concert or that venue. Did you ever do the open mic there? I guess they did some like comedy open mic some night at that venue.
At the Harvest 91 deal or
Yeah.
where? No. No, I didn't know they were doing a show or anything there. That would suck. I've done concerts at I've done comedy at like concerts in between bands. Battle of the bands. I've done jokes in between. Very brutal. I've done comedy at like a fair and a festival. No one gives a flying fuck. Really, really just like, what am I doing here? I'm getting paid in funnel cake. It was good in that regard, but no, the victims dying. We were just talking about how there was a support group of victims that would meet up every so often at the place in California, and that got shot up.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I forgot about that connection. Someone that survived our shooting died in that shooting.
Yeah.
Right? They're crazy. Like, what are the chances of being witness to 2 mass shootings?
You know, well, and here's the other thing, though.
I mean, that's insane.
I mentioned how there was that one cop that was raided, that was a part of the raid in the room that we talked about it before, that got busted with the child porn. And I don't know the follow-up to any of that shit, if that's legit or not, but I mean, it's definitely suspect after something like that, you know, on shutting them down. But to what conclusion, you know, can we come to? I think, you know, dude's a gun runner, and he's playing. He might be playing double agent, or he might have got burned and knew that whoever he was working for was gonna cut him out or something. So he tried maybe doing a rogue deal and became an ISIS dude.
I don't think he fired a shot.
No, I don't think so either.
I think he was dead before the shooting.
Is he even dead? Is he even dead? Because
is he even real?
Like, exactly. This could be deep fake.
Yeah.
Shit.
There was someone in the room who took a picture of Stephen Paddock on the ground bleeding, but there would have been someone in that room knowing that they're going to take that picture and knowing it's going to be leaked. There had to be a purpose for them to leak that photo.
Yeah,
well, there's that.
It's a non-accidental leak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a publicity.
A planted
leak.
leak.
like a strategic power move.
Yeah, definitely.
To fool the masses that this dude was dead in the room and on the floor. Because I'll tell you what, the people that were in that room were so high up in our police department, that would never happen.
Right.
That doesn't happen on any other homicide or any other crime. You know how hard it is to get leaked footage from a police officer's cell phone camera? It's almost impossible.
Well,
it just doesn't fucking happen.
Well, there's all sorts of stuff. They proved that there
else.
was more. There had to have been more than one person doing the whole thing, because the way the doors were locked in the rooms, it was something that someone had to lock on the way out. And the other thing is, when the picture was taken with Paddock, the way he had shot himself, supposedly, there would be fucking brain matter. There would be all sorts of splatter.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't that a lot of blood. People said the blood would have been there for too long. There was like the
coagulation.
The soaking. But there would have been matter. There would have been all sorts of shit. There would have been
tampered with evidence.
There would have been a big mess. But they said also there would have been fucking way more, 5 times more gun casings all over the place from what was shot there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They said it was been fucking and.
Did you see when they released the October 1 report? It showed the apparatus that he used to breathe. Did you guys see that? He had like a
sleep apnea
scuba gear with a hose. He dropped out the window so he could breathe fresh air while you know what I mean? Like come on.
There was also.
Oh yeah.
How did he know how to do that?
Right.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
How did he break
dude.
the window? That's what I want to know.
There's said he has this. There's a special hammer that's designed to like that's with easy force to like break like heavy pane glass, like stuff like that. Supposedly,
Did they find it in the room?
supposedly he had that. One of those things. I would just assume he shot out of that. But supposedly at the end, and if he is dead, if he was killed, you know, I think he was shot. I think he was shot different, you know, differently. But there's two distinct shots at the end of like the end of the shooting.
Yeah.
When there's like pow, pow, and then there's no more shooting after that. And I think that was like Paddock was like they had just done all the shooting, whatever. He had been helping him out, whatever. That's when they killed him and then fucking they extracted. You know, people didn't know what to do. I don't know, but
there's a theory going around too that a police sniper shot him. Do you hear about that theory?
No.
Paddock?
Yeah, that just came out now because there was
I saw some compelling video and stuff of an actual shooting from a helicopter.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and that looked real as fuck. That looked real.
The theory is that he had a spotter on the ground. It was a female officer. They got her body cam footage, and she says,
"There's no way. There's no way, dude.
Yeah,
I'm not. There's no way. You're not shooting up. No,
they said it was from a helicopter.
No, well, maybe.
But that's real
no,
tough
but dude,
guy
that
shit.
head would be fucking. That'd be Gallagher fucking watermelon, dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
it'd be a 308 shot from a helicopter. You know what I mean? It'd be real grimy.
Dude, there would be splatter all over the place, dude. There was just a small little convenient little pool, like, you know, nice little setup at his head. You know what I mean? Like, it was.
There's just a lot of weird shit, man. The whole thing, and the lady that was running around downstairs.
You telling people they're going to get shot?
You know, whatever happened. Did they even identify her?
Is she one that suspiciously died?
I don't know. They never really identified that woman.
There was like this some crazy gypsy lady that was running around telling everybody. There was actually two of them.
Oh, and then too, they found out later that there was 3 escorts in the room.
Yeah.
3 escorts and a vibrator.
Yeah, in the room too. So who the fuck?
Fake flowers.
And then the hard drive was missing on his laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, let me just take the hard drive out. Yeah.
Maybe the hookers robbed him just for his hard drive.
Just for the
hard drive. They're smart hookers.
Yeah,
maybe he couldn't get hard.
Yeah, and, you know, and then here's one of the things too. People are like, you know, how do you get the guns up in the room? It's like, duh. Fucking
luggage.
It's so easy. That's not even a thing. There's no even reason to explain that.
No one's even checking how many bags.
Well, no, especially and they're like, oh, he's rich. You got to use the service. Wait, that's not even a thing.
Don't even worry about that.
Yeah, you know. But here's the thing: is they show these videos and they show this dude and they show him alone, and it's like, dude, well, yeah, everything they're showing you just fits their narrative. Yeah. How long did they come to? You know, how long? But, you know, here's the thing. One of the things that was happening at that time that was coming out, that was being exposed and it was going out, and it had been a little bit before, it had been introduced, but deep fake videos. And I don't even know if you're familiar with it, but it's just been going around recently where Steve Buscemi's face was put on a girl's face.
Just recently, the Golden Globes.
Okay, right?
Tell me about this. I don't know about
this.
I'll
pull it up.
Well, deep fake is when you're able to use the voice and you can, like, there's video on you, okay? So, okay, just imagine green screen. There's video on you right here, and there's a camera on me. But the camera is me talking, but it's coming out as your voice and your face, your mannerisms, and all that stuff.
That's not Steve Buscemi, but that's his face on that interview.
Well, you can put faces on different people and stuff, okay? But here's the thing: is there's a video of one of the dudes. Was it not?
This is creepy.
Aaron Rouse is the FBI agent's name, by the way.
Name.
Aaron Rouse.
Okay, but he's a creep. But who's the dude? The two guys that just did Peel and
Key and Peele or whatever.
Yeah. Not the dude who does hey, Ron.
Yeah.
Because I'm bad with names. I always mix them up.
Yeah.
But, anyways, he does an impression of Obama, right? And they did a deep fake video of him in 2013. I think this was 2013 or 2015.
That's who is that? That's Jennifer Lawrence. That's Jennifer Lawrence with Steve Buscemi's face.
It's creepy. I don't.
But here's the thing.
Like that.
It was Obama, okay? And the dude was talking, and the comedian was talking, and he was doing the whole Obama speech, and then he would just like slip in a word, and you're like, whoa. You're like, Obama's getting like, damn, right? And then he would change it, and then he would just all of a sudden, he's doing Obama. He's like, and these bitch ass niggas. Da, 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 da. He's, just doing all this. You're like, what the shit? And you're like, okay, sun's up. You know what I mean? Right? And then the screen splits, and you can see him talking into a microphone, but it's Obama talking and campaigning and doing this. It's a computer-generated graphic, but they're using this dude's like talking in his infliction to do all this stuff. So now they're able to like put these videos and do all this stuff and all this crazy stuff and put people in different situations. You see how they're able to like superimpose. This is like the generic. You can do this on an app. There's apps that do this.
I mean, even like Snapchat, you can do a video with your face as someone else. Like,
now there's capabilities where they can extort. They can actually, put people. And it's funny. Well, you can put people's faces on stuff in very compromising positions, right? And doing stuff.
Oh,
and
porn.
Like porn or kid shit or
fucked up shit.
Animal shit. You know what I mean? Like whatever, right? One of what's crazy is one of my good friends, a guy I learned a lot about life from. And sadly, he had a relapse, and he became a fucking, he got back into speed. He became a big tweaker and shit again. But one of his times, he was having this tweaker freak out. And he was having this fucking problem. He was all spun out. He kept talking about how they were going to take your face and put it on different things. And he's like, no, he goes, you won't be able to defend yourself. He goes, that's what they're doing to me. That's what they're doing. That's what they keep doing to me. They keep putting my face on fucking, on like porn, on like beating up girls. He's like, I don't beat up girls. And he was like, he was losing his mind. I'm like, oh, whatever.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, and he's talking, and now they're like doing this shit. But this was like back in like, this was back in like 2001, 2002.
Oh. I didn't think that far back.
He was having like these freakouts, but he was talking about this, and he's like, they're gonna use it. They're gonna use it. They're gonna use it on you. He was having these he's stomping in puddles of water and fucking losing his mind, but he wouldn't be, I wouldn't be surprised if he was the guy that was like yanked off and experimented on. I'm just saying he was one of those guys that could be somebody that would just get thrown in the back of a truck and hauled off because he's so drunk at a bar. You know what I mean? Like, who knows?
You know what I mean? But
like,
that's scary. I mean, if people can do that, then they can totally potentially ruin.
Well, yeah, these deep fakes. So with Paddock, it could be anybody, and they could just make it look like it's him. Because there's a couple of pictures where you're like, which you all do, we all do. You get into an elevator, you look at the camera, and you're like, fuck you, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody looks in the camera, but he just is kind of like sipping on his drink, luggage there, and it's just so convenient. I'm like, fuck that. What about the fucking cameras in the stairwell, supposedly, people going in and out of, or the elevators when you get off of when you get onto the floor. So any which way you go in those, when it start at the end of the suite or whatever, there's a camera over there. There's usually a camera facing down the hallway. Where's the camera over the days of people that have gone in there? From room service to fucking catering to hookers to
right.
There should be camera work for all that for the 3 to 5 days that he was there prior.
I'm feeling it just disappeared with everything else.
Well, no one even asked. They didn't even question it. You know, from those on Fox to those on CNN, nothing. All right, guys. So what we did on this one is we chopped this one up. We did it in 2 pieces because it's pretty long. And we're going to get back to you with the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.